Hi, I'm Lisa and welcome to my channel, The Southern Seamstress. I hope everyone's been well since my last video and I hope you've all found some time to do some sewing. In this video, I'm just going to tell you a little bit about what's been going on since my last video and also what my sewing plans are for April. It's been about 2 weeks since my last video and to be honest, I really haven't gotten much sewing done at all. In the past couple of weeks, I've been helping my son try to find a little house that he can move into. We finally found one that would work and just closed on it a couple of days ago. My son originally had moved out a few years ago when he first started college, but he's been back for the last couple of years to complete his degree that's at a university pretty close to where we live. In December, he will complete his undergraduate degree. He wants to go into counseling, and in order to do that, he'll need to pursue either a master's or doctorate degree. But he also wants to own his own business someday, so he really needs a doctorate degree for that. So as an incentive to get that doctorate degree, his dad and I got this little house and we're going to let him live in it rent-free. As long as he's in school, he will still pay the utilities and all his other living expenses. His dad and I decided to help with a house so that he wouldn't feel like he had to rush through his education in order to have a decent place to live. So it'll take him about 5 years to complete the doctorate degree. And once he finishes that and has a good job, then he'll probably want to move out of this home because it's rather small. So then his dad and I can sell it and to help with our retirement. So now we're just trying to help him get moved in. The house needed a few, appliances like refrigerator, washer and dryer. So we've got those ordered and they're coming in next week. So he's really getting excited about having his own place again. So for my April sewing, I wanted to start out making something that would be kind of transitional between, cool weather and warm weather. So I went back and looked at my Make 9 list for 2024 and I picked out a couple of those patterns that I think will work out well going from spring to summer. And the first one I'd like to make is a little button-up cardigan by Unfettered. Unfettered doesn't really have a name for it, but they give them their patterns numbers and it's 1021. This cardigan pattern by Unfettered is a free pattern. It has a V-neck. It is slightly cropped. It has a banded bottom, buttons up the front, has short sleeves that are banded, and they have a big pleat at the top of the shoulder. Now I'm pretty cold-natured, so if I'm going to wear or make a cardigan, I want it to have long sleeves. So I'm going to take the short sleeve pattern and convert it into a long sleeve. Now the sleeves on this cardigan kind of remind me of ones in a sweater that I made last fall, and that was a Fibre Mood pattern called Airelle. And it was just kind of a short sleeve sweater-like top, but it had the same kind of puffed banded sleeves with a pleat on top. And when I made that sweater, I made it long sleeves. So I'm going to take that sleeve pattern that I've already modified and try to use maybe the bottom part of it with this cardigan. I think I'm also going to make this cardigan maybe a couple inches longer. Although I'm short, I think it's made to be a cropped cardigan, and I really don't want it cropped. I don't want it super long, but maybe somewhere between like the top of the hips to mid hips, I think would be a good length. The fabric that I'm going to make this cardigan out of is this lightweight merino wool jersey, and it was from Sewing Studio, and I had bought this last summer or last fall. It's a really lightweight, and this cardigan, that's what it calls for, is lightweight sweater knit. It is very lightweight and I can see through it just slightly. So I think that will be a good thickness for spring. I think because of the thinness it won't be overly hot, but because it does have merino wool in it, it will have some warmth to it. This fabric is kind of a combination of cream and grays, a little bit of a mini stripe. And when I ordered the fabric, I also ordered some little gray buttons that I think are going to look really cute with it. So right after my last video, I did print out the pattern and got it all taped together. And so all I have to do is the modifications, and then I'm going to cut it out. I've read through the instructions and I think they're going to be pretty easy to follow. There's only like 9 line items. There's no diagrams with this pattern. So hopefully I can get everything put together correctly. So that's the first thing I'm going to make this month. Now the second thing I want to make is also on my Make 9 list, and that is a real pretty blouse by Atelier Jupe, and it's their Olivia blouse. This blouse has raglan sleeves. It has gathering at the neck with a small neckband. It has a partial placket that goes about halfway down. And then the sleeves look like they're about elbow length and they're banded. I think instead of just having the regular bands, I think I may go ahead and put elastic in them. That way I don't have to worry about the bands being too tight or too loose. Because when they're too loose, you know, they kind of fall over your elbow, but if they're too tight, then it's kind of uncomfortable. So I think I'll just go with some elastic for the bottoms of my sleeves. And it finishes off with just a loose, slightly curved hem. The fabric that I want to make my blouse out of is this really pretty floral that I got from Guthrie & Ghani, I think last summer. It's got a really pretty greenish blue teal background with all these pops of pretty springy and or summery colors. This fabric I think is a rayon viscose, and it's nice and flowy. It has a really good drape to it, and I think it will make the perfect Olivia blouse. I think I did see someone that on YouTube that had made it up into an Atelier Jupe pattern, but I believe they had done, I think, the Frida blouse and not the Olivia blouse. So I don't think I've seen it made up in the Olivia blouse, but I'm going to be really excited to get this pretty blouse made up. Now, if I have any time left in April after I get those 2 garments made, what I want to do is start working on my projects for Operation Christmas Child. If any of you were following me last fall, I had made a video, I think back in October, about a charitable project that I participate in each year. And that is Operation Christmas Child, and that is put on by a organization called Samaritan's Purse. I'm not going to go into great details about the organization right now. I did talk quite a bit about it in that video, and I will link that below, and also a link to their website, so you can check that event out if you've not heard of it. For this event, you put together shoe boxes for boys and girls with different items such as toys and hygiene items, school supplies, art supplies, things like that. And you can also make homemade items. On their website, they have a list of suggestions of items that you can put in your shoe boxes. And they also have a list of things that are prohibited from their shoe boxes, such as like anything edible, food, candy, gum, and liquids. And in the United States, all these shoe boxes are collected the week before Thanksgiving week. So it's usually about the 3rd week in November. In other countries, I'm not sure if the collection week is the same, but what I usually do is I'll start sewing my items maybe towards the end of September and then in October. So I'm always kind of rushing around to get them completed, and then I'm getting them done at the last moment. And then it really rushes my Christmas sewing, because then I just have like from Thanksgiving to Christmas to get my Christmas sewing. So I thought this year I would start early here in the spring and start making some items and try to make some items each month. So the last few weeks I have been looking at different patterns and trying to decide what items I want to sew for these boxes. I will probably do a few items that I've done the last few years, but I wanted to come up with some new items. So currently I've picked out some new patterns. I've got one of them sewed up, and I want to get like an example, at least one of each one of those, and then I'm going to do a video with those items so that if you're also sewing for that charity, or maybe you're sewing for another children's charity, or you just want to have some gift ideas for children, so that you can get a head start on your sewing also. Anyway, I'm hoping to get that video out in the next month or so, and then do a follow-up maybe early fall to show how many items I've gotten done of those ideas that I'm going to be presenting, and maybe I'll come up with a few more items later in the summer too. So that's kind of a wrap up for my sewing plans for April. I know I won't be doing much sewing in the next few days because we've got some family coming in tomorrow, and they're going to be with us for, I think, 3 or 4 days. Their visit just happens to land during the solar eclipse on Monday. I live in Central Arkansas, and Central Arkansas happens to be in the path of totality. I think that's what it's called. I believe where I'm located, we're going to have almost 4 minutes of total eclipse. So that's going to be really weird during the middle of the afternoon to be totally dark outside. I had ordered everyone some little glasses a few weeks ago so that we could all view the eclipse safely. And when I ordered these glasses, the seller said that they were, properly certified for viewing the sun. But then I was checking my emails this morning, and I got one concerning those glasses, and Amazon was saying that we're sorry, but those glasses you bought from that seller, they weren't certified like they said they were. So, we're going to refund your money. And you don't have to send them back. When I'm filming this, it's on Friday, and that's in the eclipse is Monday. So I went back online with Amazon this morning and found some that had all the proper certifications. They were approved by the ASA. I looked at a lot of the reviews, and they were confirming that this was correct, even though they are made in China, I believe, but they do have the correct protection. It would be really bad if I gave my family and guests glasses and then they all damaged their eyes. That would be awful. But anyway, these glasses are supposed to come in Sunday. So hopefully there won't be any holdup, and they will be delivered on time. So I hope you've enjoyed this little catch up. If you have, I would love for you to give me a thumbs up. And in the comments below, let me know if you're in the path of totality of the eclipse, or if you're planning anything special for this event. And if you're not subscribed already, I would love for you to hit that subscribe button. So until I see you in my next video, take care and happy sewing.